This week is Drug Action Week, and today we'll continue to look at the dangers of substance abuse. This morning we welcome back Richard Smith, the founder of the Raymond Hayter Clinic, who joins us to talk about the profound and destructive impact that drug addiction can have on families and friends.
And joining Richard on the couch is Doreen, a mother who's had to watch her son deal with the dreaded drug addiction for most of his life. Thanks both for coming in.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
How do you approach a family member who you suspect might have a drug addiction?
Well, the first thing that we say to families is be honest. Sort of share with them and talk with them about what you're feeling, using those sort of I statements and saying, you know, we believe that something's going on. Try and get a conversation going. So it's really about confronting it, not sort of denying it and thinking there's no problem in our family and maybe it'll go away.
And in your case, Doreen, is that what happened with you, or did that help?
I think it's really difficult because it's hidden. My son was hiding it. It becomes very secretive, and so his denial was very profound all the way through with his drug use, and so you're sort of dealing with that.
So you had confronted him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. But I think as time went by, I had to look at the behaviour, what was going on with the behaviour for me to know, because, you know, it's not something that comes out in the open.
What
and
were
the family
warning
goes
signs?
into denial too.
Of course. Yeah. What were the warning signs? And tell me about that family denial.
Well, the warning signs, his life just went completely into chaos. Within 18 months he was in full-on addiction. He'd progressed from marijuana to speed, and he was having serious consequences in his life. And we just continually ran around trying to pick up the pieces and trying to get him back on track and make things better, take him for counselling, and it just didn't make any difference. It just kept snowballing. And he would try and stop his drug use. He would start going to the gym and remove himself from drug-using friends and try and get his life in order, but he wouldn't be able to stop. And then it would continue again, and so you'd go through another crisis. And until eventually, within 18 months, he just lost everything. Lost his job, lost his freedom, he was having trouble with the law, and he just totally lost everything. And we just sort of went on that merry-go-round with him.
And how long does that merry-go-round go on for?
Well, it can go on forever, but luckily I got to the point where I went for help for myself.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what made a huge difference. And I learnt about his disease, and I learnt to understand why he was doing what he was doing.
Yes.
And also I learnt about my enabling behaviours, that I was actually propping him and allowing the addiction to continue. So I learned how to intervene by pulling out the props, not giving money, not sort of supporting his drug habit in any way, but we always told him we loved him and we'd give him complete support if he went for treatment. So he knew we were there. I had to change my attitudes towards him, to stop trying to control his life, because I'd gone into complete overdrive with control.
But I can imagine you would, because you'd think, you know, he's not capable, I've got to do something,
exactly.
as the mother does.
And that just broke down communication between us, so there was no communication.
I suppose this is an important point, Richard, isn't it? That I guess you would want to keep it within the family. You would want to try and deal with it yourselves.
That's
but
right.
really, how realistic is that?
Well, we say it, we're as sick as the secrets we keep. And one thing that I think the community needs to know is everyone is affected by this. Everyone has an alcoholic or a drug addict in the family somewhere. And it affects, you know, for every person that has a dependency, it affects 16 others. So we need to sort of start to accept
Directly.
So we need to accept that this is a problem in our community, and it's, you know, we shouldn't demonise it and say this is bad, you know.